Here's a fact about Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is a critically acclaimed Metroidvania released in 2017 by Team Cherry, a game development team made up of only 3 people. Along with this one game and its expansions, the team was hard at work on its sequel, Hollow Knight Silksong. Announced all the way back in 2019, fans of the first game had to wait until 2025 until they could get their hands on the game, but once they did, they loved it. And Silksong went on to be nominated for many awards, and even won a few. At least that's what the official story is, but what if I were to tell you that Silksong never actually came out, and gamers have fallen for one of the most elaborate schemes in the industry's history? And I know that sounds crazy, but on this episode of FactsAbout, we will get to the bottom of this plot and explain what's truly going on with this long-awaited sequel that allegedly released. Let's silk this song. Let's begin by explaining how I started going down this rabbit hole. As most of you know, when a game is about to be released, it's common for review copies to go to journalists and YouTubers. However, for Silksong, Team Cherry didn't do this. And while those inferior game journalists whined about how they didn't get early access to sucking at the game, I decided to solve this problem in an unconventional way. I went on a totally legit website and downloaded myself an early copy. Improvise, adapt, and overcome, Kotaku. Those trash gamers. Unlike me, if you want proof of my skill, take a look at the background footage, that's all me. Anyway, after I downloaded Hollow Knight Silksong no virus free, I begun to play it, but something seemed off. Until I realized I was just playing regular Hollow Knight, and then my computer got like 80 viruses and my computer went kaput, so I can't show my gameplay. Not only was this not Silksong, but there were viruses. And I bet if I had a bank account, it wouldn't have been free either. What the hell is up with this game? Now, I could have waited a few days to get my hands on the Steam version, but I think if that version did all that, I doubt the Steam version would do much better. Plus, I don't have a bank account because I never owned one, so I can't buy it. I would have asked a friend to get it for me, but then they might have gotten like 80 viruses, and if they had a bank account, it would have been drained. You get the idea. I won't let anyone's bank account get drained except for mine, but it doesn't exist, so it can't get drained. But I consulted a forum of early players, you wouldn't know them, they went to another school, and heard similar things, that the game didn't really exist, but how come most people claim to have played the game? Well, in order to figure this out, we'll have to talk about fake video games. Petscop is a game for the PlayStation where you play a sex stick over here as you catch pets by solving puzzles. It's a good time, is what I would say if this game was real, but like my bank account, it never existed. Petscop is actually a fake game created by one John Petscop, using elaborate movie magic to perfectly replicate a video game in order to tell a story about child abuse, at least that's what the Wikipedia page says. You may ask why I'm citing Wikipedia instead of the series itself. Well, it's 24 videos that can be anywhere between 2 minutes to an hour 20 minutes long, and I kinda wanna get this video out as soon as possible. But moving on from the horrors of child abuse to something a bit more lighthearted, the fantastic adventures of Sexstick. I'm now realizing that my earlier joke about the Petscop guy wasn't as unique as I hoped. TFAOSD is a fake game created by Jadapada for the fictional Dango system, along with NubQuest, which is probably another joke, but I don't get it. The point is, Jadapada has created gameplay footage, music, and cutscenes for this fake game, which look very convincing. Really, the only thing that gives away that this game is fake is the title. Even then, PO'd exists, a boomer shooter where a chef lands on an alien planet and escapes with a jetpack. This is a real game, not a real fake game, but an actual game you can play right now if you want to for some reason. There are a lot more fake video games out there, but this isn't a video about the numerous fake games out there. I just wanted to talk about this phenomenon to explain what is going on with Silksong. If a single person could create a game that doesn't exist and have it be this convincing, it could be possible for a group to make up a game and have the whole internet fooled into believing it's real, but how would a scheme like this play out? Team Cherry is a pretty small studio, consisting of only 3 people. In spite of this, Hollow Knight sold over 15 million copies at a price of $15. Add that together, and forget about taxes, sales, the storefront's cut, and regional price differences, you'd get 225 million USD, or 317 million Australian dollars. There were others who worked on the game, mostly translators for the other versions, but I'm going to account for them with all of the merchandise sales as I don't want to track down those numbers. I think that should even it out. Divided among these 3, they're now in possession of approximately 100 million each. Now, if you were to come across that much, what would you do? Think about it. That would be enough for you to retire 10 times over. As long as no one snatches your bank account, which wouldn't happen to me because I don't have a bank account, of course. But Team Cherry didn't do that. Instead, they just continued to work on their latest game, which is fine, but keep this in mind for later. Silksong actually began as a Kickstarter stretch goal, a fairly simple one. At 56k, a second character would be added, one with a familiar silhouette. According to the official story, development began as an expansion to the original game, where Hornet would have explored Hollow Nest. However, because she was too tall, despite not even being as tall as the titular Hollow Knight, it was decided to build a new world for Hornet to explore. And this snowballed into a whole new game being developed. This is a habit of Team Cherry, where they will try and make something small, but then it will expand to the point of being extremely massive. Keep this in mind for later. And so began the alleged 8-year journey to bring Silksong to the people, and in 2019, we got our first trailer, and it looked good. Almost complete. And then nothing until 2022, where we got a brand new trailer. And then nothing. The radio silence and shock of the lack of information drove people mad. And by mad, I mean worse than Deltarune Tomorrow and Duke Nukem Forever. I think people were hyped for that one. This madness drove many to hallucinating Team Cherry, hinting their fanbase that Silksong will soon come out because of a font change on their website. Until the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, where it was randomly mentioned it would be coming in 2025 for a few seconds during a montage of games coming to the Switch. And then Team Cherry just dropped its release date 2 weeks before the Unleashing Day. Now, I would love to artificially extend this video's length by going into more detail about Silksong's development, but unfortunately Team Cherry took a vow of silence until the game was completed. So we don't have much to work off of, but the point I'm making is, what were they doing all those years? You may say, well, they were working on the game, duh, but we now know that isn't the case. Now, I know I said earlier that I couldn't get proof because I didn't want my non-existent bank information stolen again, but then I realized my bank information isn't on the Switch, so I grabbed my debit card and bought the game. And this is what I found. Alright, let's see. We're playing Hollow Knight. Playing it off my Switch controller. As you can see, I'm playing it right here. I can play it with one hand because I'm a god gamer, and that's why I'm using one hand to hold the camera, the one hand to play the game. And then, yeah. There's that. This is where the weird shit starts happening, and you know, this is off the Switch. This is like natively off the Switch. This is how Silksong allegedly plays. As you can see, clearly not the advertised Silksong. I'm still playing as the Knight. And then around here, the next like sort of weird interruption happens. And it's a bit more blinding here, but there it is. Yeah. This happens, and see, luckily I could still like play because, you know, my god gamer skills. Ignore the dishes once again. It doesn't matter. I have my computer plugged into the TV because I thought, oh, I would capture card it, but then I realized if I just post it as is, you guys would probably accuse me of just editing footage, but like, so I decided, you know, play it off the TV, you know? But yeah, the only down part is all the dishes. The next interruption is going to happen sometime here. Yeah, there it is. See, luckily, once again, God Gamer, I basically memorized this game. So, like, you know, I know where to go from here. So this doesn't affect me, but, like, a new player, you know, comes across this, like, what are they going to do? They can't fucking see shit because fucking max headroom over here is fucking going off. Yeah, just give that a second, and then, you know, then the grubs. Once again, I know, I'm aware of the dishes. I'm aware of the dishes. I'll clean them up once I'm done recording this. But we'll visit the grubs, and then, you know, this is the part where it gets, like, really, really, really weird. About now, yeah, okay. So then this happens. I don't know what this is, because, like, a special presentation, and then, you know, doing everything, can't do shit. And then, like, eventually, if we wait long enough, all your bank account belong to us unless you don't have one. Luckily, I don't, but some people might, and that might suck for them. So, and once again, can't do anything about it. Pressing the home button, nothing's happening, so it's just stuck like this. Shame on you, Team Cherry. Alright, now some of you, despite seeing this proof, may have some counter-arguments, so let's begin with, I saw this guy play through the whole game, so it must be real. Well, you see, Team Cherry used their extraordinary amounts of cash from Hollow Knight to pay off all of the popular streamers to get them to fake the game's existence. What you're seeing is a fake game here. You're watching staged footage made using assets made by Team Cherry to fool audiences into thinking the streamer is playing for real. Your next counter-argument will be millions of players who could not all be paid by Team Cherry claim to have played the game. It even crashed every single digital storefront on release. Well, we all know that Hollow Knight is a pretty hard game. Too hard for some. But if you were to dare complain about this, the internet would eat you alive, which is completely justified for the record, but beating Hollow Knight is a massive achievement, something that makes you hit. But not a lot of people can make it that far, so they lie, and it's pretty taboo to ask for proof of this. It's on the level of asking what someone's blood type is to these people, or what your bank account information is, which I wouldn't be able to answer anyway because, you know. With Silksong, it's a similar situation. People claim that they've beaten this game despite never touching it. They're just posers who are trying to get girls by claiming they beat Silksong. However, this time they've been caught in this lie, as the game they claim to have beaten doesn't fucking exist. This is assuming that they aren't also in on it, of course. It's a very interesting scheme, a respected developer weaponizing their reputation along with peer pressure and internet clout to get a lie this far. Now, if you, the viewer, have played Hollow Knight Silksong and you're not in on it, you genuinely believe you've played this game, I would suggest you see a doctor. I have witnessed a new form of mental illness where you believe you played a game that does not exist. It's real, I've seen it happen way too many times, it's called Leth syndrome. Actually, no, the doctor might be in on it. I think you should just take my word for it. Any sane person would know that the world is filled with grifters such as Big Cheese 89 who want to deny the truth to manipulate you. As I have now proven that this game never came out, the only reason that anyone would continue to facilitate this lie is either they're stupid or they're trying to sell you something, probably Hollow Knight merch. And now that we've made it this far, there's only one question left to answer. Why would Team Cherry, game developers who have already shown their capabilities to make a game like this with the original Hollow Knight, pull off such a scheme? Well, and this is where we apply a bit of nuance to this situation. You see, they're still working on Silksong. They never stopped, and that's the problem, they just haven't finished it yet. This is why they didn't release early copies to the journalists, and why they didn't attend the Game Awards, and why they're still silent even after they finished their game. But why would they release the game like this, without any pre-order mention or even an early access banner? Well, it's because of you, the fans. You filthy idiot fans just couldn't wait for the game to release, could you? You just had to rush them by speculating and making memes about Silksong. You freaks disgust me, and I was going to end this rant by saying y'all should do better, but then I realized I know how you guys operate. You guys have denied this for months. You're not going to change your mind, and I know it. I knew something was off the moment you reacted to every single announcement from John Cherry with whining and sniveling about Silksong. Nothing can ever make me respect you after I was told to get good by you fans for not being able to beat a stinking moth. So, while I was making this video, an old friend who you might know from a previous video contacted me and told me that the game was updated and it works now, and even gifted me the game on Steam to prove it to me. So I guess the game has come out. Clearly, Team Cherry was scared after I teased this video coming out in my previous one and finally handed out the game for all to enjoy. They also clearly want to humiliate me, but unfortunately for them, I am not humiliatable. Team Cherry, John included, knows they look weak for caving to their fanbase's whims. What are they, John Gress? Now, you may ask, why did I claim in the title and the video that it never came out, or why did I even release this video? Well, it's because of the optics, of course. I spent 2 weeks on this video, I'm not gonna scrap it now, that's ridiculous. Plus, I know how the content creation game works. I know that my voice and style are so captivating that everyone sticks around till the end, so no one leaves my videos without the full story, so it's all good. The only unfortunate thing is, unless someone else has video proof, this video is the only way people will know about this. So make sure to share this video around, either to people who need to see this, or to win internet arguments.
Alright, time for the actual outro I recorded.
Thanks for watching Facts About Truthers. If you like the video, subscribe to the Litter channel, and avoid Silksong like the plague. Next time, we'll be talking about how Coraline is stupid.